How do you think Bumpy Johnson controlled Harlem? How was this only black man that had a seat at the table with the families of Italians? And he was untouchable the same way they was. You can't kill a boss, a made man.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You have to sit and negotiate. If we want something, you know, that's all Malcolm and them was doing. How you think how we got to where we are now, even with the rights to vote? Martin had to negotiate with these people.
Yeah.
You know, when they come into our neighborhoods, they want to negotiate with the community. Then they negotiate with you for your vote, don't they?
Yeah.
So you still negotiating with them. So why would they stop that?
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Pattern Disruption Podcast. This is the show where we break through the noise and we dive into the stories that have shaken up the game. I'm your host, Eric Rhymes, and every week I bring you real, raw conversations with entrepreneurs, educators, entertainers, and all-around creatives who went from the shadows to the spotlight. So if you're ready to see what it takes to rise above the rest, you're in the right place. Let's break some patterns and start the show. Oh yeah. So today on the Pattern Disruption Podcast, I'm sitting down with a brother who's been putting in real work for the community. He's on the front lines. He's fighting for justice, safety, and opportunity, where it matters most, in the streets. He goes by the name of Stone, and trust me, his story and his mission are ones that you need to hear. So let's get into it. Let's welcome Stone to the stage. What's up, my brother?
It's Grand Risings, bro.
Man, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we both are rushing today, so we're gonna keep it going and get right into it. So, Stone, I did a little bit of promotions just to kind of give people abreast of you and what you do. I kind of talked about your wife. She's been on the show before, and I got pretty good feedback and her energy, and so her, you know, I know you and I know her, but let the people know who Stone is.
Man, I'm just one that's here to do God's work. You know what I'm saying? The main reason we part of the streets right now is because that's where we really come from. You know, I come from a background, Detroit, Michigan, where I was born. Moved to California, became part of gang life. You know, and so I've actually got to see the full struggle all the way through.
Okay.
You know? And in 2015, me and my partner, you know, my brother, I'm gonna say my brother.
Yeah.
We came together. He was a GD, I was, you know, part of Bloods, and we was like, listen, man, we got to do something different for our communities. You know what I'm saying? We got to start stopping our young brothers from going to jail, getting killed, and how can we help those that's in need, that's in our community?
Right.
We started Street Groomers, man. In 2015, we've been running strong ever since.
Street Groomers.
Even though, yes, sir, even though my brother passed in 2020, we just continue to move forward with the mission and honoring the legacy.
Okay, and Street Groomers, kind of tell people, you know, I know what you do. You're an advocacy group for the community, but let me know a little bit. Let people.
We advocate for the voiceless, man. Those that's incarcerated, wrongfully incarcerated. We advocate for the homeless. We do a lot. I want to say 25,000 people a month we feed. You know, whether we passing out not hot dogs and hamburgers to them, I'm talking steaks and everything. You know, we try to feed them real good, even when we cook for them. You know, we go set up on the weekends downtown in Atlanta, sometimes at Wheat Street Baptist Church, and we feed the homeless. I cook for them right there. You know, my wife, she brings the boutique, and we, you know, clothe them. We bring the showers out, let them take showers, give them fresh clothes, everything, you know. my wife and Commissioner Larry Johnson from DeKalb County started a thing, hotels to homes,
Okay.
where they start taking the homeless from the streets and putting them into hotels, getting them jobs and all, and then moving them into apartments and houses where they could have their own homes. So that's been successful. Uh, I want to say since the pandemic up until present, probably done housed like close to 300 people.
Wow. Wow. And y'all not a 501, right?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So
Because
how do you raise funds?
we have our partners that we deal with, that the people that we partner with, Fountain of Hope and Reflection of Trinity, those are pantries. So they make sure we get all the food that we need every week to feed people. Then we just have the people who we partner with that believe in what we do. They see the work and see that we out there. And I mean, it comes from different ways. I mean, I remember one year it was my birthday, and one of my sisters was like, "Hey, I'm sending Stone $1,500 for his birthday." I took the 1,500, me and my wife, and moved and added to it and moved the young lady into her own apartment. That was my birthday gift. It was a joy,
Wow.
just seeing a blessing. You know,
So I know. So just tell me this: why is this so important to you? Other than the fact that you went through the system at one point,
hmm
but what other than that? What is really what makes you do this every day?
oh man, God, that's it. That's you know, when God puts something on your heart and you see it. Uh, I have taken a lot of my little homeboys downtown with me, or wherever we have been, to feed, and I tell them the feeling that they would get when they hand a person a plate that's hungry and they watch them eat, and people want to hug them and everything. It's if you got a soul, especially as a man, you gonna feel that.
Real talk.
So that's the drive that keep me going. And then me personally, I mean, I don't like putting it out there like that, but sometimes you have to. I hate seeing my people in the position that we are in.
Yeah.
You So I try to do all I can to change them and help them.
But you see all type of people out there. So, but you say it's all different races out there that's homeless and suffering.
I don't discriminate when it comes to that.
Yeah.
If you're homeless, I want to see you in a house. I'm gonna feed you and all. I don't care what color you are.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. So when did you know that street groomers had to be created? Was that after you got out, or
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
After doing 20 years in prison,
20
you
years.
know, 20 years. I just once me and my partner sat back, man, because like I say, he was a GD, I was a blood, and we came together. It was on some crazy stuff how we actually came together because it was like uh, some youngsters had a problem, so he came to me like, man, hey, let's stop, put an end to this. Let's stop this. So I'm like, I tell you what, we gonna do. Go get some boxing gloves, and we gonna put them in this square
Yeah.
and they gonna end it right then and there. Whoever come out on top, just come up on top. Leave it alone after that.
Okay.
But we gonna make them be men instead of bringing a whole bunch of other people involved into it,
Yeah.
to where it get even messy. I don't want to see nobody take lives. Be a man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the world. We don't have a lot of time, so I just want to touch on just some of the stuff
Yeah.
that's in the news right now, man. So at one point, it's no secret that um, you supported, didn't vote for him, but you supported some of the stuff that Trump was doing.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about where did that come from? Because I remember the wife doing it. I didn't really know your political views, but I know the wife she was supporting him at a time. Tell me, where did that come from?
Well, actually, I'm an independent.
Okay.
I believe in our independency. But what made me support him as president, I didn't believe, I don't believe in Democrats, period. Because I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be honest. Uh, that's who had us in slavery. That's who held us through the Jim Crow. That's who done held us through our whole entire lives here in America.
Okay.
You know, we fought the civil rights war to come out of slavery against the Democrats. You know, and I just see a lot of their trickery. Me knowing a lot of history, I know the things that they've done. You know, a lot of people don't know. You know, we actually had our own party,
Right.
the National Negro Liberal Party, Liberty Party. This was a true party that we had back in 1909. And George Edwin Taylor, you know, they don't teach that. They teach different little things. But he was the first black man to run for United States president.
What's his name?
George Edwin Taylor. And he ran up under the National Negro Liberty Party.
We
So
we got an uninvited guest in your shot. I know he getting on your nerve. That little fly.
yeah, yeah, man. She had the door open before she left, so I was like, shut the door.
But George Edwin Taylor.
Yes, sir. He was a black man, the first black man to run for president up under a national party, which was our own party. You know, a party that blacks created.
So it would have been liberal. So is it Democrat or is that Republic? I mean, how's that?
He was neither or.
Okay.
It was just he was believed in liberty and justice. You know,
Right.
he didn't believe the narrative of the Democrats because he had just come out of slavery
Right.
and knowing that it was Democrats that we fought against. Uh, and he wasn't Republican because at that time it really wasn't a Republican Party. That the Republican Party wasn't as strong
Right.
then.
Right. So
The strongest thing they done was had Abraham Lincoln, who actually freed the slaves.
yeah, because Abraham Lincoln was a Republican.
Yes, sir.
So how did black people become Democrats then? How did
Man,
we go from the National Negro Liberal Party to Democrats?
but see, the Democrats ended the National Negro Liberty Party. You know, they knew it was going to be a threat, and they didn't want them to have it. So at that point, George Edwin Taylor even said, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna become a Democrat to see if I can't change their narrative."
Okay.
He seen that didn't work, so he went and became a Republican. He seen that wasn't gonna work, and that's when he went on ahead and started the National Negro Liberty Party. You know, a lot of our people don't know. You know, we speak on a lot of our black, those that was honored
Yeah.
to this day that we love and felt like, oh, look at Frederick Douglass, look at Harriet Tubman. Man, we get to naming them people. All of those people were staunch Republicans, man.
Yeah. But okay, but so how did the majority of black people go Democrat then if we were already Republican?
It's crazy because over the years, man, you know, hey, they set the stage for it. Um, when take John F. Kennedy now. Uh, when Martin Luther King Jr. went to jail down here in Albany, Georgia, you know, him and Richard Nixon was real tight.
Okay.
But Richard Nixon spoke the truth to him when Coretta Scott called him, asking could he get Nixon, Martin Luther King Jr. out. Nixon said, "I can't right now because I need those Southern Dixiecrat votes, and if I go get him out right now, I won't win president." And he knew this.
Yeah.
So her next thing was she called on the Kennedys. When the Kennedys went, they went and got Martin out, you know. Uh right after that, you know, history it's so crazy,
It's
man,
tricky,
because
man.
people don't really understand it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Um, it takes me to like the things they did when they did the Voters' Right Act, right? In 1965. Lyndon B. Johnson pushed that. But people don't know that that was actually Richard Nixon's and Martin Luther King Jr.'s pet peeve. You know, Dwight Eisenhower, at that time, Richard Nixon was the vice president in 1954 when Dwight Eisenhower he charged Richard Nixon as VP to go and set up a civil rights act. You know, people we hear about it, but people don't know how to associate it with it. When the civil rights in 1954 passed, is when Martin Luther King Jr. called Nixon and was like, "Hey, it's watered down, but we got something. It's a start."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what people don't know, during that time in 1954, all our rights, all the civil rights really wasn't given. They still were stopping us from voting. They still was segregating schools. They only went to one state, and that was Arkansas, and like got them in, start getting seg,
Segregation.
and yeah, stopping the segregation and integrating the
Integrate. Yeah,
schools.
yeah.
And but people don't know the same person, Lyndon B. Johnson, was part of Senate at that time in 1954. This man called Dwight Eisenhower, the president, and told him, "I got enough votes right here in the Senate to stop your little bill. So you take this out, you take that out, you take this out, and we'll let some of it pass." This was the same Democrat after Kennedy was assassinated. He was just a VP. He
Yeah.
had to run again to become president.
Right.
So the narrative is already set. Kennedy went and got Martin Luther King Jr. out of jail. Now you the VP after the assassination, you become president. So you turn right around, you need the black vote.
Right.
That's the narrative they set and been setting during every election. Getting the black vote. People always, oh, blacks, they votes don't count. Our vote counts.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
And
everybody will adjust in order to get our vote. Everybody.
everybody,
Yeah, everybody.
they don't care how, what it takes. You know, they at that particular time, they gonna offer something to get the black vote.
Well, why do you feel like our vote didn't shift this election? Because black people were totally okay. Let me not say that. The vocal black folks were totally against Trump. Now,
Sort of say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So how didn't our vote?
Why? How did he get elected?
Yeah,
You have to take,
by
man.
a landslide like that.
Look at the discrepancy that was already going on within the Democrat Party. Them lying to us about Joe Biden's health and everything. You see what I'm saying? And what they did that was a fault was taking instead of having a primary, hey, they pushed
Yeah,
Kamala
yeah.
Harris.
I think that was a mistake. Yeah,
That was a big
that
mistake
was
on
a
their
mistake.
behalf.
Yep.
And she was already, I mean, this woman, she was already being criticized as the VP. So why would you push her trying to keep the Biden administration going? That's what it was. He wanted to bias Harris administration.
Yeah.
Uh, but that was, you got to look at her record, man. This lady was the DA in California,
But
the head prosecutor.
but black people didn't care about that.
Yes, they did a lot out there. I used to talk to a lot,
Oh,
man.
okay.
You know, a lot of people felt some type of way about that. You know, and then they start sliding little things in. They slid in the videos when Joe Biden was in the Senate. You know, and people didn't know. You know, you'll be like, "Oh, this person's not racist," But
Yeah.
once you
Yeah.
hear him speak, and they slid videos back in the 70s when this man was in the Senate.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
saw some videos when he was talking about he was a Zionist and all
yeah,
this. Yeah.
man, I seen one when he was like, "Hey, we don't need another Negro
Yep.
in charge.
Yeah.
We got enough of them already." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things like that, man. But when you hear those type of things and you see things it's a set pattern. That man's the one who came with the three strikes law, helped push it through the Senate. Uh, the the drug law, that
Yeah.
traffic, all that. He helped push all of that through the Senate. You know, and I've always looked at our people and be like, man, one thing I didn't understand is, like I say, how could you side with somebody that throughout the years you see have assassinated our greatest leaders? All of this was done up under the Democrat Party. J. Edgar Hoover, he was a Democrat.
Wow. Yeah. So just a disclaimer. These views are not
Oh, well, hey, I'm just
so
listen.
until it's fact checked, I can't just say that it's true. And that's
Well,
my
tell him to go pull up J. Edgar Hoover's political background.
yeah.
A Democrat.
Okay. Well, so you you say you didn't vote for him, but you didn't vote for Trump, but you were partial to him over Kamala.
Yes, I was, man. I believed in at that time. I believed in a lot of his views. You know, uh, the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to protect the border. That's part of the Constitution. That the sitting president is supposed to protect the borders of our country, starting with the seas first to our lands,
Right.
making sure. But you know, he was speaking about the drugs and everything and the murders and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I respect that. You know, he was speaking. I have sat with some of the congressmen, U.S. congressmen, Byron McDonald and Donalds and all of them, Wesley Hunt. We had long talks about reparations, uh, prison reform, releasing people, a lot of different things, and they was explaining to me a lot of Trump views, things that he really wanted to do but didn't know how. I have heard this man speak on certain things. I have seen things done over my years. You know, when they were giving Nelson Mandela all them problems, when he got out of prison, how did he get here? Trump sent his personal private jet to pick up Nelson Mandela and his whole family. See what I'm saying? I have seen this man with so many blacks over the years. I'm like, how could he be that prejudiced? I just wanted to hear it out of one person's mouth because I knew he sometimes didn't care what he said, and that was Mike Tyson. Because I heard Muhammad Ali speak on him. I seen him and Muhammad Ali hugging each other. Now we knew Muhammad Ali points of views. Do you think Muhammad Ali would have been hugged up with this man if he was a racist? As said back then,
Yeah.
especially the way Muhammad Ali was. So I start seeing a lot of his views, and you know, I look at the news every day, all day long. Sometimes, uh, I just believed in a lot of his political points. And one thing I said, man, the man to be the best thing for the economy of this country.
Right.
When
Now
he was talking about
now people say
taking,
he been bankrupt so many times. Why you feel like he would be the best?
man, you think that man was bankrupt, man? That's listen. One thing about the rich, one thing they can do, still have hundreds of millions and claim bankruptcy to keep from paying something.
Yeah, that's what Dame Dash. He just filed bankruptcy and hey, listen, man. I understand a businessman. You got to look at it like this. Do you want somebody who don't have experience in business? I mean, the ups and the ebbs and the flows of business. You want somebody that's been through that. So I respect that. Let me ask you this: what about So his views on C. Kirk, right? What do you think about C. Kirk and what's going on in the news today with him?
That's very interesting. Me and my wife was talking about that because every I scrolled my news feeds on Facebook and everything. Every other video is something about Charlie Kirk. If it ain't Charlie Kirk, they showing a fight. If it ain't a fight, our women on there degrading themselves. You see what I'm saying? I was like, man, I seen one where somebody was saying they compared him to Martin Luther King Jr. I was like, no, I wouldn't say that. Me personally, I would compare him to Malcolm X. And you want me to tell you why? Malcolm, his point of views of how he felt, you know, before Malcolm took his trip to Mecca and actually found the true meaning of God. Malcolm was like, white people couldn't do nothing for him. He didn't believe in nothing white. He called whites the devils at that time. I remember the little young girl at the college when Malcolm went to speak asked him what could she do to help. Malcolm said nothing. You know, when uh JFK was assassinated, when they asked Malcolm how he felt about that, I'm saying, hey, it's just a rooster coming home to roost.
Right.
They went in an uproar about him saying that. But that man had what we should still have now is our freedom of speech. What that man did once he went to Mecca and found God, he came back and apologized for that. And went and found that same little young girl at the college and apologized to her. And the only thing Malcolm was doing then was preaching righteousness in the streets, love for everybody. He just felt one thing: blacks should be independent. Charlie Kirk did the same thing. People, oh, he was a racist. He was a racist. That man said some things, his point of views. You can't down a person because of their point of views.
But just so when you said you've been scrolling through, I scrolled
Mhm.
through as well, and I used to watch Charlie Kirk, some of his stuff before he passed. I would come across it, and it I don't know if I was in my emotions, but it left a lot of stuff left a bad taste in my mouth. Now, I'm not saying that I disagreed with what he was saying, but like he said, he didn't have empathy, and
Yeah.
it showed. But I
Like with
don't feel
that
like
George
Trump
Floyd.
has empathy either, and it
Mm-hmm.
shows, right? But my point is, he said that one of his quotes was, and if I'm out of context a little bit, maybe so, because I can't really, I'm not sure which video it was, but he said, only reason black women were in the position they were was because they took it from a white person.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the words he used. And it's like, okay, so we don't have
Mm-hmm.
we don't have affirmative action,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Nope, not no more.
Okay, so all we had was DEI,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was DEI. That's the only
Yeah,
that had to be
that's
what he
it.
was saying got them in that spot, right? So what do you feel about the DEI conversation and affirmative action and some of the stuff he?
I'm not. Hey, I'd go off of Malcolm point of views when it came to affirmative action and everything. Malcolm didn't believe in none of that. He was like, man, and this is the problem with us today as a people. We need to stop depending on others, whites, Indians, Chinese, or whoever, to, to help us lift ourselves up. What we need to do is come together as a people, as a whole. I mean, we done heard the saying all our life: united we stand, divided we fall. Right? But yet we still can't unite for no reason. And that's a sad part. Because we continue to, the hell with a handout. I don't want nobody giving me nothing where you can control me. That's why Street Groomers is not a 501c3.
Okay.
Because if I take their money, they grants, they can control my mouth.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to allow. I am, and I operate off my own independence. Me and my wife. You
Yeah.
see, that's the best way. I mean, for us to have something, we have to stand together. That's just like we filed. I filed a petition to the United States Senate for reparations.
Okay. So let me ask you this. We're gonna get into that. So why do you feel like we need reparations if we can stand on our own? I'm trying to.
It's owed to us. You still give rep. You didn't. Here it is. They have given. Even Obama have gave reparations to Asians. We have given reparations to Japanese that we had in concentration camps after the war with them. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We give reparations. Like I
To
said,
the
Obama gave
Indians.
them to. Yeah, they gave it to the Indians and all. Uh, why we can't get? Well, they started out giving us reparations back then, but it was a pension more so. Some blacks was receiving up to 300 to 500 after slavery,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like $5 to $35 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Then it ended. That's when they start speaking of that 40 acres and a mule and everything.
Right.
I'm like, like I say, like Malcolm, but I have to use Martin words in so many ways. Martin said, it's time for America to be true to what they put on paper.
Right.
If this was said and put on paper that this was going to be given to us, you know, right here in America today,
Is that in the Constitution, or is that just something that was on camera? Or I mean, because I'm not versed on the Constitution.
that was during the Senate hearings and all of that.
I'm saying,
That's on paper.
okay. So I mean, but where can that be found at?
Washington D.C., man.
Okay.
All people got to do is look it up and see when blacks came out of slavery, how it was put on paper that they would receive their reparations, but it wasn't. They ain't gonna use the word reparations. They say pensions,
Right.
and this was supposed to continue through all ex-slaves, and their families. You know, and quite as a cap, you give to the Indians reparations and all.
Even the Jews.
This land was ours first. The black Moors that was here before the Indians,
Right.
they came from Africa. A lot of people, they hate it when you got somebody like me who know history. Now let's break this down. Noah had 3 sons, am I correct? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. He spoke with God, and God allowed him to divide the whole earth amongst his 3 sons in 3 parts. Shem and Ham had shares in Africa. When you come with the Jebusites, the most Moabites, and all of them was the Moors. You see what I'm saying? Those were the settlers and descendants of Ham, a black man
Okay.
that came here to North America. And this is where their land was. It was given to them by God. So my thing, how can you take what God gave to us and claim it as your own? But they done that up under European doctrine. It was the European doctrine that says only a European of Christianity could claim land. That's a European doctrine, and America accepted it. Christopher Columbus The person that discovered this land wasn't European.
So
The black man that
how
was
did he
on the ship,
discover it if you saying we were already here?
we was. How do you think he got here? It was a black Moor on that ship with Christopher Columbus that showed him the way here to this land. They had already been here. Tell you, have your listeners look it up. The first treaty that America signed was with the black Moors that inhabited this land. They broke that. America broke that treaty. Not the black Moors. America, y'all stole these people's land after y'all came here and made a peace treaty with the black Moors the same way y'all did with the Indians. Only see people think, hey, oh, well, how? You got the whole America.
Right.
When they came here, the first they ran into was the black Moors. The second group on other sides of America was the Indians. So you made a peace treaty with both of these people, but the same way you broke the Indians and gave them their reparations, you broke ours.
Right.
So give us our reparations as well.
So
That's
so is your petition based off of the slaves or is it based off the Moors?
it's based off. My petition is based on the Moors, the slaves, and all. Mine is based. See, I think America owes all 360 plus million people here reparations. Want me to tell you why? Because going off of that European doctrine of only European Christianity could claim land, you came with a Semitic racism. What you did over the years, you still hold to this doctrine. And you've created an inherited racial discrimination of hate here amongst the people in America.
So
Because
now if you say Charlie Kirk, now he was saying that that's not true. What can he would always say, what can you I do that you can't do today?
but that's what you want me to tell you something. This is why you have your own podcast. This is why I do what I do. We have a lot of us can do something that the same person can do.
Right.
Okay, y'all took from us, we want to take back.
Okay. That's real.
You see what I'm saying? We only thing it is, we asking for it to be given to us right now. Because be true to what's on paper. Like I say, y'all broke the treaty with the black Moors that came here, that was here from Africa. Y'all created a racial hatred here in America that's still, I mean, it's countless of lives that has been lost through racism.
Right.
You know?
Well, Charlie Kirk
And
said it was no racism.
look, okay, well, he said it was no racism. Why is the narrative around his death racism? And here go the craziest part to that. Over the last 100 years, any attempt of violence on any public political figure, not one has been perpetrated by a black person. But every time it becomes a race issue, man.
Yeah.
It becomes something involved with race where they control the narrative. Like I say with JFK, hey, get the votes. Every time it becomes, it's really, and it's crazy, man. Think about this. It always happens around election time. Right now, even there in Tennessee, here, Georgia, Texas, Detroit, Florida, 2026, man, we have 33 seats in the United States Senate coming up, right? I even put it like into my petition, letting it be known, man. Now it's a thing. The petition, I needed signatures, right? The petition is in, but as a people, my own people won't even sign the petition. I done had more Hispanics and whites sign the petition than I have had blacks. I can go on it. If you sign it right now, every time you click on it, you could see the names of people who sign it. You see what I'm saying? So here it is. I'm explaining to our people, the more signatures, the petition is in. The more signatures I get, I can take them signatures to Washington, D.C. and say, hey, listen, these are the signatures. The people demand a public hearing on this reparations. Now it forces them. They hand have to be, if you don't give it and the people demanding it, like I say, if you're not going to give it to the people, take and admit to American people that America is not its own, but it belongs to Europe. Seeing how you going to continue to hold on to a European doctrine.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I can't even get the signatures to say, hey, we demand this public hearing. And for the people to see which side. You have Democrats say they want to give us reparations. You got Republicans that say they want to give us reparations, but none of them know how. Right?
Right.
That's bull. That's bull. This has been discussed a long time ago. They was going to use the banks and the United Treasury, right?
Right.
To do it, to set it up. They were saying, okay, we don't know who to give it to. What you mean? I'm going to make it easy for you. All 360 plus million Americans. Because like I say, y'all have created the system that we have to this day right now with so much hatred, with so much racism, you know.
See, I think that's the
And
problem. They're not admitting that the atmosphere is racist. They're not admitting that. So you can't start from a foundation where they're saying it's not true.
listen, I don't know, because I just heard Trump say something the other day, right? And he was talking about it. You know, he was like, he said, man, I don't care. He said, they're going to get mad for me saying this, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. He's like, hell, you got the radical on the right wing and you got the radicals on the left wing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's letting it be known that some of the stuff that goes on, it's in both parties.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is why I say, you know, I be talking to people in all the states where we at right now because of those 33 seats that coming up in Senate, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's see. This get American people a chance to see if we get them signatures in and say, hey, the people is demanding a public hearing. They have to vote on whether they're going to hear it on the floor or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We get to see who vote for it, who vote against it.
Right.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So that lets you know what their motives are based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm telling my people. Quit being so quick to make a decision. And hey, man, oh, I want to stay with the Democrats. I want to stay with the. No, quit
Yeah.
stand. Put something serious in front of them.
Well, that's what Ice Cube tried to do. He tried to do that deal with America. What was the name of it? He was trying to talk to Trump and get, but people shot him down just because he wanted to have an open dialogue with Trump.
Man, hey,
Yeah, and
listen,
that
why?
and we can't move like
If
that if we want our best interest to be met.
if you want our best interest, you got to meet with who's in charge.
Yeah.
You take, man. Hey, I was raised, like I say, both sides of the table. You know, I was in the streets. Went to St. Stephen's Christian High School. Graduated straight A's.
Yeah.
You know, scholarships to college and everything. But I chose the streets, man. You know, because that's the life I was actually raised in, around.
Yeah.
I look at something, so I take history. How do you think Bumpy Johnson controlled Harlem? You don't think, how was this only black man that had a seat at the table with the families of Italians? And he was untouchable the same way they was. You can't kill a boss, a made man. You see what I'm saying? You have to sit and negotiate. If we want something, that's all Malcolm and them was doing. How you think how we got to where we are now, even with the rights to vote? Martin had to negotiate with these people. When they come into our neighborhoods, they want to negotiate with the community. Then they negotiate with you for your vote, don't they? So you still negotiating with them. So why would they stop that? I have, like I say, it's no secret, man. I'm probably responsible for all the majority of the black votes that man got here in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
Man, I've done black man rallies, marches, on different people podcasts and all, speaking on his behalf. You know,
On Trump's behalf.
uh, yeah, on Trump's behalf, because I felt where he was going, but the second
How do
he
you
did
feel now?
that,
That's what I was going to ask you. How do you feel now?
man, in ways I feel like, damn, because I was taking a lot of criticism.
I'm sure
You
you
see what I'm
were.
saying?
I'm sure you were.
Man, I took a lot from family and all. And I was like, man, so hey, I that's, you have to be like that sometime. But I'm like, man, listen, y'all got to see what direction this is. And I even said to some of my family members then who said something, I said, hell, it's probably needed for him to come in and pull some bullshit. Excuse me. But that's the only time we really come together, is when something go down.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But when he did the thing about birthright citizenship, I was like, oh no, the Supreme Court finna shoot that down. They can't. Man, when the Supreme Court passed that, saying he could use the executive order and the lower courts couldn't stop it on birthright citizenship. This the sad part too. My people don't understand. This is why, one of the reasons I got that petition in. You will hear those say, oh, it can't happen because he's saying illegal. We bought here illegally too. Trump or any sitting president, because of that decision that the Supreme Court made, right now can say,
Can get us out of here.
hey, start grabbing niggas.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you what I see, though. This is what make me feel real bad. Now, this is why I've been trying to reach out to him and all. Hey, his same staff members that hey, they call me to come to his rallies. I was getting calls from them, me and my wife, every day. When the inauguration came, hell, I got my VIP tickets to the inauguration.
Yeah.
I was there and all. His same staff members now, when I'm trying to get at them about this issue, they won't answer my calls no more. So instead of, I can't get to you to negotiate with you, talk to you, let you understand, hey, this is dangerous what you're doing right here. My next move was to file a petition.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing it and I'm like, damn. They using ICE, the DOJ, snatching up all the Mexicans and everything. Then I see him sending the National Guard to DC. Now I want to send him to Memphis, to Tennessee.
Detroit.
He want to go to California. He want to come here to Georgia. He want to go to Detroit. He wanted to go to Chicago. So the only thing they messing with now is blacks. You sending ICE and all of that at the Hispanics, but you sending the military at blacks,
Right.
the National Guard. And that's illegal. First and foremost, the only time you can enact the National Guard, they is only there to bring peace. They ain't supposed to arrest nobody or nothing. Only time the National Guard and all of that come to our own soil if it's a threat against our country. You see what I'm saying? So when I sit and I'm like, damn, he used that birthright citizen stuff as a test run with the Hispanics.
Right.
Now, on this hand, you grabbing you coming at us now. So that I ain't cool with. This is why I'm pushing so hard right now, man. Because for one, the United States Senate, this is why I filed a petition. The United States Senate is the only ones. See, everybody, file it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can't do a damn thing with the Constitution. They only there for civil rights. This is why I filed that petition to the United States Senate. They the only ones that can change the Constitution or uphold it. The United States Senate. They got the right. And like I put in there in the petition, I want you to take civil rights out and put human rights in there for blacks. We got God-given human rights. And that's what they can do. The United States Senate can do that. The United States Senate, not the president, can say, hey, we have to uphold this and give reparations. Not the president, not the Supreme Court. See, everybody go at it the wrong ways. It's the United States Senate. This is why I say, man, we got those 33 seats coming up. I'm talking to independent candidates in all of these states right now. Let's get, if y'all don't want to do right, let's replace them.
How long is, so I'm gonna ask you stuff that I should know, but I was not what they call it? I wasn't a buff of, I don't know all that, but
I'm a history buff, man.
yeah, I'm not a history buff. How many seats in total on the Senate?
What, it's 33, 50, 100, I think.
Okay, something like that.
It's 100.
Okay, okay.
It's 100 because the VP is that 101. Like, if that settles the votes.
If somebody watching this, if you could look that up and put it on in the comments, that would be dope.
It's 100.
Okay, it's 100. All right, so 33 seats coming up. Is it majority Democrat? Is it majority?
It's a mixture, but it's, I think, because you got so many Republicans retiring, a few Democrats retiring, some of their seats just up.
Okay, and how long is the term?
They terms is every 2 years, I think.
Wow. Okay.
They 2 years, and then they come up for re-election.
And each state has a set amount of Senate.
Okay, it's a cycle. Only certain, they take a certain percentage of it every 2 years. Like, all states ain't up for election.
Okay. So they stagger it a little bit, so they always got people. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's like 25, 26 states. But in some states, don't forget, we got two senators representing them states.
Who are the senators of Georgia?
John Ossoff and I can't even think his name right now. Raphael Warnock.
Okay.
The preacher man. That's him.
Okay. And are they Democrat?
Yep, both of them.
Both of them Democrat.
Mm-hmm. And right now we have an independent candidate down here, Al Bartell.
Al Bartell.
Yes.
Have we ever had an independent on the Senate?
Yeah, we got, I think it's 3 of them in there now. And this is what I push. I'm like, man, if the independents, they think about this. A lot of the donors that Trump got, the billionaires and them, remember, they independents, but they didn't have nobody to throw their money to. And instead of picking a strong independent candidate,
yeah, because then it's a waste.
Put your money behind him.
But you, like they were saying, some people, I told people I voted for Cornel West. They like, that was a wasted vote.
No, it wasn't.
But
it was a smart vote. Want me to tell you why? We voted for Cornel West. My wife went down, cast a ballot, Cornel West.
Why didn't you vote for Trump if you believed in him?
Because I still believed and put my vote where my heart is at. That's independence.
Okay.
Now, I knew Cornel West wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And the strongest person, and I hate that he allowed them to trick him, was RFK. He, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., would have been the strongest independent candidate,
Yeah.
truthfully. Now, the only thing about that is you do come from a Democratic background. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But more people would have voted for him than Cornel
Cornel
West.
West. Yeah.
It would have actually broke down to, if he had a stayed and really pushed it, it would have broke down probably between him and Trump. Kamala wouldn't even been. It would have been them three at the end getting the votes, and I believe that more votes would have, even black votes would have went to RFK before they went to Kamala,
Yeah.
because of his background, because of his family. Yeah, that's
Yeah. That's the Kennedy
yeah,
family.
yeah,
Yeah. They grandfathered in. But
yeah.
yeah. So I want to talk to you a little bit about because we only got a couple more minutes, man. Um, we talked about immigration. What about people been getting lynched, man? We've been hearing about lynchings. Um, I don't know if this is heightened because of C. Kirk, or is this just because it's been going on? You know,
It's been
yeah,
going
it's
on.
been going on. What's your position on that? I know you is a bad thing, but what's your position on it?
Listen, only thing I could really say to it, man, it's time for us. See, they be hollering, I'm a quick person to say, they be hollering at woke. We not woke. We sleepwalking. You see what I'm saying? It's really time for us as a people to wake up, come together. Hey, we got to stop all the silliness, the killing one another, the degrading our own people, and come together, man. Every other race is immigrants to this country. Every race, from whites on. Look how they unite once they come here together. All of them are unite. Why we got to stay scattered, man? Why we can't, like, it was a time when we stuck together, no matter what. Because if you didn't, you had
You had
those.
to stick together.
Yeah,
That's
we
kind of what
had
we getting back to. Yeah, we kind of going
that.
back to there by default.
And see, that go back to what I said a few minutes ago. Hey, like I told my uncle, hey, maybe this is good. Maybe it's time for us to stick
I
together.
said that too, but I didn't. I didn't voice it much because it's going to be collateral damage in a situation like that. You know,
It
people
is.
gonna really get hurt and affected by that. So it's easy for us to say, see, that's kind of what Charlie Kirk did. He said that gun laws, some shootings need to happen, but
Yeah.
see, it affected him.
What shootings need to happen? And see, hey man, I hate to say it, but sometimes words
Yeah, yeah.
hell.
But
You see what I'm
but
saying?
just think about what you just said, though. You just said that maybe this needs to happen to get us
Yeah.
together. But
Hey, maybe it do.
right. So I'm just saying that, but you speaking what needs to happen. Do we need to get to a point where it's that bad?
Hey, listen, these hangings,
Yeah.
they popping up, popping up. Um,
See, that's a part of it. That this could be what happened with Charlie Kirk could be making this heighten more, which it probably is. They mad.
again,
But why
why
you
we
mad
got
at us?
want to make a racial issue with us?
Yeah.
You blame. See, I go in and get to saying things that you really have to put a disclaimer up,
Yeah.
because listen, you blaming us. Go blame that faggot that killed him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Those same ones that y'all giving rights to, but you want to take our rights.
So I don't know.
See,
You
I have
you just spoke on
interviewed.
his sexuality. I don't know much about that. What he's supposed to
That's
be?
what he was. He was. It's out there. His daddy and all of them even said it. He was dating a transgender.
Oh, okay.
So, but regardless of what he was doing, who he was dating, he was white,
Right.
wasn't black. So why is y'all making this a black issue now? You see, this is why I be saying when they controlling the narrative. Okay, y'all want to get rid of niggas some type of way, it seems. So, hey, we can't keep locking them up. We ain't got no much room for them, killing them, and different things like that. They killing each other. Hey, and you do have idiots out there because I mean, I have dealt with a lot of white supremacies. In my 20 years in prison, I have dealt with the best of them. Dallas Scott, Silverstein, all of them. That was tops of the Aryan brothers.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My point of view with them, I have had little homies tell me, and it's crazy because they like, hey, Cuda, man, boy, them motherfucking white boys respect. They scared us. They scared as hell of you. I told them, I said, man, them crackers ain't scared of me. They'll stick a knife in me quicker and just as fast as they would one of y'all if they thought they could get away with it. They respect me because they know how I am. And you come to me and you miss, well, I'm going to put you through the dirt. You see what I'm saying? I have dealt with them. I mean, we was talking about something, the people points of views earlier.
Yeah.
When we talking about Malcolm and Charlie Kirk. Hey, man, I remember this. You can look it up. Bruce Pierce. He was the one back in the days. This is his name, Bruce Pierce.
Yeah.
He was robbing all the armor trucks. He was on what is it, 60 Minutes with Dan Rather, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was questioning him, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a big old thing, but you know, all the money that you rob from these brings trucks, they still can't find. I heard they was offering you some time off, possibility of coming home if you gave them the money." So he sat there for a second. Then he looked. He say, well, let me ask you, why was you robbing these trucks?" He said to send all niggas back to Africa. Now listen, you got to take. When I heard this, I'm in Marion at this time. This Federal Max. I got my little TV up there. I'm looking at it. The whole unit went crazy. Why you hear this? So, but the whole time from when I first started looking at the interview, I'm like, man, I know him. I know him. So everybody started calling me Cuda Cuda. So I look. I said, man, it snapped to me. I said, this the cracker right up over me. So when I went to the bars, I'm like, boy, y'all already know. My thing was violence
Right.
at that particular point.
Yeah.
Hey, man, when we went to the yard the next day, everybody was like, hold up, boy, I ain't going to the yard, boy. He finna get him out there. Man, when I got to the gate, I was the first one in line. People let me come in front of them. I get up there, the guards take my handcuffs off, man. I slid into one gate where they took the handcuffs off me. Then they unlocked the other gate, let me on. I did like a little half walk because I was seeing where he was. I seen him in the line. When I seen him come, I started coming. As I'm reaching, his hand was coming out. Hey, Cooter, man, please, can I talk to you? I'm like, man, well, that stopped my motion. But he was like, I just want to talk to you for a second. He said, do you love your people? I'm like, hell, at that
Yeah.
time, now you done got me to the point. I'm like, hell yeah, I love my people. Why you gonna ask me some shit like that? He's like, man, I love my people. That's all I'm saying. He said, Marcus Garvey said that they were trying to raise money for blacks to go back to Africa. I was wanting to help.
Wow.
So when him saying that, he was like, man, I just believe we should stay separate. I don't, he said, you see, I speak to you all the time and everything. You're like, I'm not racist. I just believe my people should be with my people. Your people should be with your people. And we live.
Right.
I had to respect what he said to me, especially when he asked me, did I love my people? Because at that time, this is when Dr. Matula Shakur, my godfather, and all of them, they was on me hard. Like, hey, you need to stop all this gang stuff. And the BGFs, they was on me hard. Like, hey, man, your little young ass, you better slow down and this and this. So they start preaching blackness to me, blackness to me, blackness to me. It's man, this is crazy because at that same time, the dirty white boys.
What's that, a gang?
Yeah. The DWBs is a known white supremacy, but I know the two leaders. And one of them, Wayne Taylor, man, me and him became like this. And he had explained something to me. He said, man, me and Big John, we didn't start this to be. And he showed me their tattoo. They tattoo was a F you finger to the scales of justice.
Wow.
Right? He said, we was going against the system. He said, once we got in prisons, a lot of my brothers started fooling around with the ABs and the air, all of this and the air. So he's like, man, that's just how racism became into our network. But me and him was like this, man. And it was crazy because remember when John Gotti and the little dude got into the fighting in prison, right? Well, they got into a fight. Him and the little dude up out of Philadelphia, Taheem. I was like on the yard. They was, each unit had its own little yard. You're in the cage.
Right.
I'm watching John Gotti and this young boy Taheem go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I gave the old man his props. I'm like, hey man, the old man, he boxed like one of them olden days.
Yeah.
But hey, he didn't buckle, right?
Right.
The thing was, I guess it circulated real quick. So one of the homies come to me and like, hey, blood, they talking about, Taheem, they gonna kill him and all of this. So I'm like, man, we ain't got nothing to do with that. That's between Philadelphia and them white boys. Because in the feds, everything is states. And the West Coast, we didn't get along with nothing on the East Coast.
Okay.
At that time. We beefed real hard with Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and all of them because they clicked together.
Now you from
I was born in Detroit, but I was raised in San Diego, California.
Okay.
So when they was talking about it, I'm like, man, we ain't, because at that time I controlled the California where we was at. So I'm like, man, we ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't give a damn. But I was in the shower, man. You got a 2-man shower. One of the homies was on both sides, on the outside, while I was taking my shower because it was dangerous in there. We in the federal max, man. One of the DWBs, Jesse, came and asked, and the homie's like, hey, Jesse want to know, can he get in? He's like, cool, man, can I come in and take my shower? I'm like, yeah, come on. So he come in, showering, and he say, hey, Cooter, man, you know about Gotti and Taheem. He say, man, we done took it up to deal with that for Gotti. So if he come to the unit, we're gonna do it. So at that time, keep in mind, I had just told my homeboy, man, I don't give a fuck. We ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
But turn around, when he come in his shower and he talking to me, and he like, hey, Cooter, man, we got respect for you and your bloods. But him speaking to me, it was like he was trying to get me to condone whatever took place with Taheem, right?
Right.
So I instantly stopped my shower, man. I turned to him. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you like this, Jesse. I said, boy, if that boy come in this unit, y'all going to pick one. We going to make sure he got a knife. And if anybody else get involved, I said, when they open up for wreck, just them two come out they cells. Everybody else pull their bars or let them rack. I said, if anybody come out, I said, boy, we're going to punish y'all all over this system. He said, all right, hey, cool, man. I'll make sure it's fair. I'll say, we gonna make sure that boy got a knife too. But God see it. It never happened. You know what I'm saying? But it was just that quick how that racial tension can click. Something that's been inherited, something that was, taught to us through the government, man. That's the saddest part about it.
Right, right, right. Well, listen, man, it's been, I'm gonna have to bring you back on for part two, man. I know it's so much that I ain't even get to touch on, man. But I do want to, you said something about Volkswagen and how they came over here. Yeah.
Man, Volkswagen, that's a German made car where listen, look it up, where the proceedings, part of the money that Volkswagens sell goes to the victims and their families of the Holocaust. But here it is, you selling that shit here in our country, paying them,
Right,
and we can't get reparations.
right, right, right. So tell me this: how can people not only see the petition, read it? How can they? Where do they go to sign it?
All they got to do is go to streetgroomers.org, www.streetgroomers.org, man. The petition is on there. You can contact me, especially if y'all in them states and y'all got independent candidates, because we definitely pushing this independent movement. We got a lot of good people behind us. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me at 404-573-8270. That's 404-573-8270. Brother Stone. That's all you got to do is call me.
Give me that number one more time.
404-573-8270. Or when you go on streetgroomers.org, you can see contact us. Everything is on there. The petition, not just signing the petition. I put on there the full language that I sent to the United States Senate for everybody to be able to read and understand what you signing, what it's for, and like a lot of lawyers and everything who seeing it, like want to know, damn, where you get your language from, where you get your case law from. I use this,
Exactly.
and that's all I want my people to do.
Well, listen, Brother Stone, man, you already know I appreciate you coming in today, man. There's so much that I want to touch on. Like I say, we're gonna have to do a part two. I got to kind of go through here because it's like I'm a student, man. I'm not a history buff, but it's so much that you touched on. Um, you even talked about John Lewis, and we're gonna get into that on part two.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
that. Listen, man, we got what we need, a whole segment on these political gangbangers. See, they want to talk about those in the streets that's gangbanging. What about these politicians that's gangbanging?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, some people would say that Trump is one of the biggest gangbangers. What'd you say about that? He
hey man,
uses intimidation.
he
Yeah.
he learned from, and it's crazy. I know you ain't got time, but I actually got to talk to John Gotti, and he used to talk about Trump.
Wow. No.
You know, I remember when Trump was running in what was that 2020, and Mike Bloomberg was running, and he used to call him, look at little Mikey, right, little Mikey Bloomberg. I remember Donald Trump telling me he one time they was at one of Russell Simmons' party. And he was like, look at little Donald Trump over there. When he come in, he say Trump used to get mad because, Gotti was flamboyant.
Right.
And when I see Trump now and things Trump have done, that man is an image of the way Gotti used to be. I mean, my
I'd
family, my
never
uncle,
heard that comparison either.
they used to call me in when they be like, man, get your uncle. I'd be like, man, Debo hell. That's what I call him, Debo. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's what another reason why I say it makes the man a great president. America, we the strongest country it is, right?
That's what they
We
say. Yeah.
the greatest and strongest country it is. We don't need a weak president. You see what I'm saying? I can guarantee you, people can say what the hell him and Putin, but you see how he go with them. Man, them people know this man ain't wrapped too tight. You know, hey, don't mess with him because ain't no telling what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? How he might wake up thinking on and sitting where he sit when he be tweeting.
Yeah, yeah, but that also can come back to bite us. And you see, like you say, now he has stripped. Now he's dealing with the Constitution. He's going against the Constitution at some levels because he feels unstoppable. After that first presidency, and they could not pin nothing on him. His personality, man, it makes him feel untouchable. And now at this point, anything he does or comes to his mind, he'll push it. And sometimes
Because
that might come back and hurt us.
people ain't saying nothing. He don't give a damn about them politicians that's saying stuff. It got to be the American people that really stand up, man. That's why I say the petition.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, we not petitioning Donald Trump. We petitioning the United States Senate.
What's the name of the petition?
Birthright citizenship.
Birthright citizenship. Okay. Well, like you say, they can go over to streetgroomers.org. Is that right?
That's it, streetgroomers.org.
Birthright.
It's gonna be the first thing you see when you come in and come down. The petition is right there for you to sign, read. Is let you read it first, then you can sign it. You know, only thing it takes is your email and your name. That's it.
Okay. And is it a certain amount of signatures that we need? Or you just as
Man,
many as you could get?
let me tell you something. How many blacks is it in the United States of America? 40 something million. All 40 something, so they say. I know it's more, but we all need to sign it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It and in actuality, like I say, it's a petition for all 360 plus million Americans. Everybody need to sign it. That's not a politician. For real.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, man. Again, man, I appreciate you being here. It's so much I ain't touch on. We're gonna do a part 2.
We have to do a part 2. Hey man, my wife, both of us will
Yeah,
come
I was
on.
hoping she would be on. I kind of advertised it and promoted it as that.
She had that funeral
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah. I understand. But y'all, LA Pink, that's Stone's wife, man. She is amazing. I call her a real life superhero. And y'all out here,
That's what how the shirt says.
yeah,
They superheroes.
man. Listen, y'all out here doing the work. You know, a lot of people talk, but I see y'all in the streets. I see y'all sleeping outside with the homeless. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about making the ultimate sacrifice. It's real deal.
Sleep in their shoes, a night out with them. Man, my wife have had her and judges washing the homeless feet,
Yeah, yeah,
cleaning.
yeah. The ultimate gesture. Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
doing
hey
God's
man,
work, man. Listen,
God's work is what makes the dream work.
for sure.
You
So
know,
listen, man, we're gonna go on and get out of here, man. I appreciate you being here, Stones. Anything you want to lead the people with?
hey man, listen. I just want everybody to understand it's more to life than all this violence. Let's stop the algorithm. Let's create the algorithm that God gave to us. The right to love thy neighbor. For all of us to come together, especially us as a people, hey man, and help those that's in need, man. It's giving alms. That's all it
Giving arms.
is.
That's what it is. Well, listen, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. Stay backstage for me, Stone. We're gonna check
Yes,
out of here,
sir.
man.